Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, April 20th. First off, I want to wish everyone a happy Easter and apologies that this video is going to be coming out kind of late today, but I was with some family celebrating Easter dinner and I am now back in front of the charts. So let's go over the NQ and ES weekly levels that I've already plotted out for this coming week, and some tradable levels that I think you guys will find pretty interesting here right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so let's start off on the NQ. So where are we at? Okay, so we're currently sitting at 18,342. Markets are Sunday night open, so markets are live currently. I do have a band here that I have plotted out on the NQ that stretches from 18,205 to 18,110. So that is the first band below us. And then after that, I've got another band that sits at 17,866 down to 17,799. And you can always see the correlation between my volume profile. If you take a look at that to the left, you'll start to see patterns in my levels that I take price action from. I actually like 1 hour candlesticks when I'm looking at the weekly time frame. And these levels, man, they're brick walls in the market. I am just so confident in the bands that I draw and my daily levels that it's really just taken my trading to a different place. And you'll see, I mean, a lot of them match up pretty much with these ledges that we see in the volume profile. I created a video that is supercharger trading with volume profile. It's linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic video if you want to learn how to draw out the daily levels and how I incorporate volume profile into there. Highly recommend checking out that video. Above us, price action, I've got another band. So there's some room right now where we can see some volatility here early this week to if it wants to get up to this band. Obviously, this band was tested once already. So we'll see here which direction the market wants to go. But if it does decide to go up here, there's going to be some pretty decent volatility here. This band stretches from 18,990 to 18,920. Actually coincides with the volume profile. I'm sorry, with the point of control. So that is, and I draw these out without even looking at the point of control, to be honest with you. And once I drew out my band, it coincided perfectly with this point of control. So you'll see. Now here's a little different one. So this one's in a low volume node that stretches into a high volume node. This band goes from 19,282 all the way up to 19,388. I've got a few tradable levels that I want to talk about. Right above price action, we've got one at 18,671. And we've got another one at 18,872. And I believe below us we've got one more at 18,080. So you're going to see some, unless, of course, unless we're talking about like high impact news, president comes out with a tweet or something that policy shifts and you start getting these huge wicks, these huge momentum bars. There's really no particular level that you can really feel confident in. So take that into context when you are trading. But you will more than likely see some type of reaction at those at these levels, and then you will see the market shift in different ways in these bands. So two different products, one solution. All right, let's take a look at the ES. So the ES, I've got 4 bands drawn out. I've got, well, let's go to the one right above price action currently. That one sits at 55.65 up to 5600. We've got another one at 57.30 all the way up to 57.76. Point of control is right above that. Obviously, this band right here coincides with a pretty large volume node. And below price action, we've got 2 bands at 50.60 down to 50.24. And then the one below that is 49.41 down to 49.10. Again, you can expect to see some bigger reactions here in these bands. And then some tradable levels. We've got one below us at 51.96. We got one right above us at 53.14. Another one at 53.81. This is where we had a really hard time getting through. Might be a little bit on the weaker side, but still definitely you will see some type of reaction. And 56.13, which is right above this band at the 5600. So those are the tradable lines that I'm looking at. This is on the weekly time frame. You got the bands, you've got the tradable levels, and then after that is looking at it on the daily picture. So go down to the 15 and the 5 minute, which is how I map out my signals each and every morning to take, the scalps, which on the ES can range from 6 to 13 points. And on the NQ, it could be anywhere from 15 to 30 points. That's what I'm looking to, that's usually typically the size of trade that I'm looking at, unless I see something in the volume profile that make me target something a little bit higher or a little bit more reward. And I use volume profile to figure out my stop loss. I want areas of defense between my entry and my stop loss. That is the name of the game for me. Risk to reward is not the primary driver of my setups. Obviously, I would love to see, a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. Sometimes I don't see that. Sometimes I see more. But what I'm really looking for is I want a brick wall, a level of defense between my entry and my stop loss. And then I'm looking for areas for my TPs, for my take profits, that have a very high likelihood of sweeping before it has to go through that brick wall to get down to my stop loss. That's what's made my win rate just go skyrocket high. And it's been a big shift in trading mentality, and these all come with experience and being on charts for several years, and you just start to see things and they just kind of repeat themselves constantly. So if you're interested in, I post at my Discord, I post my daily levels. So that's the 15 and 5 minute. I post those every morning at about 7:30, about an hour before the market opens at Central Time. If you're looking for something a little bit further than that, I do have a signal service that you can join through YouTube or on my Discord, and that goes over my exact entries, stop loss, take profit 1, and take profit 2. So if you're interested in that, take a look at it. Everything that I have put out here, there's videos for you to be able to map these out and use the volume profile to help you with those. And again, if you're looking for Confluence, if you want to see how I map my levels to kind of compare, you will start to see maybe some things that you don't see on your chart, and you could use those to compare them. And if you want to take it one step further, go for the signal service, but it's not 100% needed. So with that, looking forward to a good week here of trading, and I'll put out my video, my midweek review on Wednesday. All right. If you haven't, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.